Hey everybody, how's it going? One of my subscribers asked me to do a video about my favorite Gourmand fragrances. So if you wear any of these, you're gonna smell absolutely delicious. I will say some of these aren't my particular favorites, but they're just sure crowd pleasers. So if you're somebody that doesn't know what direction to go into, these are all safe bets. So I'm actually gonna start with a fragrance I don't own in my collection, and it's a cheapie. It's called Pink Sugar by Aquilina. And by the way, this list has feminine, masculine, and unisex fragrances. Now, Pink Sugar by Aquilina is this $20 fragrance. You can get the big bottle for $20. It smells like caramel. There's vanilla. There's also some strawberries, some raspberries. It's just this really nice, sweet scent that hits the spot, especially if you're a teenager and you live in cold weather. It's a really, really nice fragrance that saves you a lot of money, and the performance is really good. We're talking about an 8-hour plus fragrance. Now, please don't wear this in the high heat. I know this is a gourmand video, but there are some people that do that and they don't understand why. I've made a video for that reason, but pretty much it's gonna turn a bit overly sweet. It might become nauseating to you, but it will become nauseating to the people around you. So wear it in cool weather. The next fragrance is a unisex one from Parfums de Marly, and this is called Ojon. Now, Ojon isn't my particular favorite scent from Parfums de Marly, but I can't deny that it pretty much smells like apple pie. All right, so before I used to spray this more on my clothes, because usually with sweet fragrances, I like wearing them on clothes better than skin, but it kind of smelled a little bit more just like the apple pie dough than an actual apple pie, but skin chemistry is a big thing. So this is definitely something that you have to apply on skin. It smells different from person to person, but if you want that sort of comforting, like home for the holidays type of smell that's just warm, inviting, and just reminiscent, you know what I mean, of, I don't know, your mom's baking, stuff like that, or if you just straight up want to smell like a cinnamon apple pie, then Ojon is a good one to go for. Performance is pretty solid. Like, it is something that you can smell past 8 hours, but it's not too loud of a fragrance. It has pretty moderate projection, and I think that that's pretty good when it comes to gourmand scents, because you don't want something that dominates the entire room, but with the person next to you, you kind of want them to just kind of lean their nose into you a little bit because they can't help but want to smell what you've got on. So Ojon, very unisex, smells like a nice dessert. And by the way, I'll put the names of these fragrances for the bottles and samples. All the discount sites for these are going to be in the description below for global shipping as well. So no matter where you are in the world, you can get your hands on these samples and these bottles. And if you want to support the channel, that's cool. I really appreciate that. If not, if you want to buy somewhere else where you're comfortable, that's cool as well. So next is another unisex fragrance called Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. And this is probably Tom Ford's most popular private blend fragrance for a very good reason. I honestly don't think it smells that much like tobacco and vanilla. It smells like gingerbread cookies to me. So if you also kind of want the holiday vibe sort of smell like Ojon, but in like a gingerbread cookie form, then go for Tobacco Vanille instead. On top of that, it also kind of smells like chai tea in the background, so a very cozy scent, but there is something about this that honestly gets people so feral when they smell it. Like, yes, it's a sweet scent, but it really is like a nose to the neck type of fragrance that people just cannot resist for some reason. They find this thing just absolutely desirable. And I understand, but it's not my favorite Tom Ford, but I have worn this when it was cold outside, and it's a beast. We are talking over 12 hours of performance with Tobacco Vanille. This is something that can fill the room, so be careful with that. But if it's a really cold day outside, like if it's snowing outside or something, really, really gloomy, this scent is sure to turn heads. You know what I mean? I remember right when I walked into the room, on the other side of the room, he was this guy that I know, he was like, "Is that you?" And I was just like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "That sweet smell." And I was like, yeah, it is. And he's like, "You smell so good." So this is definitely something that both from ladies and from guys is just a huge crowd pleaser. Now, I'm not saying this isn't polarizing by any means. Of course, for people that prefer fresh fragrances, they're not really going to probably want to wear this, but you can probably tell from clicking the title of this video that this isn't a video for people that enjoy the fresh type of scents, or that are looking more for the gourmand scents, of course. But yeah, not what I expected, but very pleasantly surprised with how it is. This honestly reminds me of Cuddles, so that's why I love this scent a lot. All right, next is another Parfums de Marly, and this is something that my girlfriend wears. It's called Cassily, and this fragrance takes you on a journey. I was gonna say unisex, it's actually more of a feminine leaning fragrance, but Cassily opens up smelling pretty fruity in the opening with like some peach. It smells like peach, but I believe it's actually plum in this fragrance. And there's a touch of powderiness. So the opening, I don't really enjoy the powderiness that much, but thankfully it dies off pretty quick. And as this starts to develop, like when my girlfriend wore this, after about an hour or two, I thought she was wearing Angel Share by Kilian. There was just something very familiar about the scent. It smelled like vanilla. It smelled like Angel Share to me, at least with her skin. I was like, damn, you smell so good. I haven't smelled Angel Share on you in forever. And she's like, oh no, this is Cassily. So I really like the way that Cassily transforms as you continue to wear it. So if you're somebody that doesn't want anything linear, then I would suggest looking into this fragrance because it's really, really gorgeous. And now when I smell it from the atomizer, I do smell that Angel Share sort of scent as well in it. So like I guess my mind is kind of associated in that way. And by the way, Angel Share is a cinnamon roll, a boozy cinnamon roll type of fragrance. I'm not saying this is a cinnamon roll type of scent, but I can kind of catch, like it's weird to say that it smells like Angel Share, but it doesn't smell exactly like a cinnamon roll, if that makes sense. You know, there's some similarities there. It's not exactly the same, but yeah, this one has also pretty moderate projection. Longevity is around that 8-hour mark as well, but it's not something that's a beast either. So when she wore this, it was probably projecting about half an arm's length to an arm's length away, and we were playing board games, and I just kept going over and just smelling her because she just smelled so good. It's a nice sensual fragrance as well, so if you're somebody that likes having your personal space occupied by a significant other, then Cassily is a great one to look into. Okay, now I'm going to talk about my personal favorite gourmand fragrance. This one is called Lamar by Kajal Perfumes. My favorite fragrance from this brand in particular, and this is a sweet pineapple fragrance. And man, this thing is a total room filler. It has a very nice scent trail and it lingers in the room. So if you're somebody that wants a statement sort of fragrance where even if you leave the party, the remnants of your scent is still lingering around and everyone's like, oh yeah, it smells like her, it smells like him, then Lamar is amazing. All right, so this is also a very unisex fragrance. Anybody can wear it. Some people might say it goes more feminine because it's fruity, but I've actually had a lot of guys that are subscribed to my channel that have bought this and have gotten endless compliments from women, even from guys too, but specifically with women. So this can be worn by anybody, and it just is this sweet yet juicy fragrance that you really can't get enough of. A really nice crowd pleaser scent. Oh gosh, yeah, amazing. So if you're somebody that lives in cold weather, and even with these fall and winter months coming up, you want a sweet fragrance, but you still want it to be lively. You know what I mean? You're not going in the very sweet direction with just straight up vanilla and caramel. You want something that still has that sort of, that brings the fun from those summer months in the cold weather. Then Lamar is absolutely perfect. So Kajal, amazing for this particular fragrance right here. And lastly, so hear me out as I grab Elysium by Raja Parfums. To me, I was actually talking to my girlfriend before I made this video, telling her the kind of video I wanted to make. And when I was talking to her, she's like, you should put Elysium on that list. And I was like, really? Elysium? To me, that's just like a fresh fragrance. I don't get the gourmand vibe off of it. But to her, she's like, no, that smells like sipping the best, most fresh pineapple cocktail on the beach. And it's like it quenches your thirst. You know what I mean? So does this fragrance make people thirsty? Honestly, yes, in all ways. But this is so sexy. I totally got where she was coming from with that. On me, this does smell pineapple-y, not Creed Aventus pineapple-y. Like she said, fresh, just like cocktail pineapple-y. You know what I mean? But there is like juniper berry and I believe grapefruit in this fragrance. There is no pineapple in the scent, but that's the way it plays off my skin chemistry. And it is something that till this day, I mean, you could tell how much juice I've used from this bottle already. It's a scent that no matter who I'm wearing it around, people go nuts over it. They themselves want to buy the fragrance. They want to wear it, but then they don't know where to get it because they don't know what niche fragrances are. When they look it up and see the price, they kind of get scared away. So it's something that the average person wants to rock because it stands out from the crowd and it's unbelievably sexy, smells different from what the typical person is wearing. But it's just, you know, it's unknown to the public. In the fragrance community, lots of people know this one, right? But yeah, a surprise gourmand that's on this list. Now, performance with this is tricky because it really does vary from person to person. On me, I can still smell Elysium on myself after 7 hours. I'm not saying I smell it the whole 7 hours. Of course, there's a point where I can go nose blind to it, but occasionally I'll catch whiffs of it throughout my day. Now, there are people that only get a couple hours with this fragrance. So if you're somebody that can no longer smell this, or maybe you're nose blind to it, who knows, right? But if this fragrance isn't performing on you and you tested it out at Nordstrom, then yeah, you already know that this isn't something that you would want to invest the bottle in. But I have had a lot of people, both women and men, DM me saying that they actually get amazing performance from Elysium as well, which is great because this is a fresh fragrance. I would say out of everything on this list, this would be the one to kind of be more wary about in terms of performance because it's a freshie and because it has such a hit and miss reputation with its longevity. But out of everything I've mentioned on the list, this one is definitely the one that I use much more than the rest. And, oh gosh, I'm going to wear this as my scent of the day tomorrow. Damn, I love Elysium. I already know when this bottle's done, I'm going to get myself another bottle because it's literally fragrance for a lifetime. All right. Again, the names of the fragrances, discount site links for global shipping, and the samples, if I can find them, will be in the description. So if you want to support the channel, I'd really appreciate that. It'll help you save some money. But of course, buy where you're comfortable. All right. I hope you have a great day and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.